Okay, for this one, what we're going to look at is what's called a rent ceiling. When we have a rent ceiling, here we're looking at the quantity of houses available or rentals available. When we rent something, we pay rent. Okay, so without any government intervention, what we're going to do is we're going to end up with an equilibrium where quantity supplied is equal to quantity demanded, where these two curves intersect. So without government intervention, our equilibrium is going to be 30,000 units, and we're going to charge, or the rent is going to be 300. Okay, equilibrium if the government's not involved. Okay, now let's come and say that, okay, the government says we need to have this price ceiling. A price ceiling says we aren't allowed to charge anything higher than this established level. Okay, so let's say that we have a price ceiling of $150. That means we're not allowed to charge rent in excess of $150. So what we'll do is we'll pull that across. Okay, we can't pay any more than that. It's against the law. Okay, so if the rent is $150, what we're going to say now is the quantity supplied. That's people that have rental units that they'll be willing to rent. That's only going to be 10,000 units. So our quantity supplied of housing units is only going to be 10. But at $150, we are more than willing to rent an apartment. So we want to rent 50,000. So our quantity demanded is going to be 50,000 units. So landowners, apartment owners are only willing to lend or to rent out 10,000 units. We want to rent 50,000. So what we have is a shortage of the difference here, the shortage of 50 minus 10. So we'll have a shortage of 40,000 housing units. Okay. Now what would happen if the government said, hey, you can't charge any more than $450? Okay, you can't charge any more than that. This one's going to be ineffectual. It's not going to have any impact on the market at all. We're still going to end up at this 300. So this one will be ineffectual. It will not have any impact on the market at all, because we wouldn't have gotten there anyway. The only way it's going to be effectual is if it's set below the equilibrium rent level. Okay, so that's a rent ceiling or a price ceiling.